Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Dylan, and wow, Microsoft. I mean, let's just talk about this real quick. This is something that's kind of been itching my brain for a little bit now. And this is something that we've kind of seen like over the past like few years within the gaming industry, whether you're on PC or you're on console or you're handheld or you're even mobile. You know, it seems like right now that Microsoft has no fucking clue what they want to do at all when it comes to the gaming industry because, you know, as we've seen in the past like 2-3 years, even since like 2014, Microsoft, Sony, they've been acquiring these massive companies and getting these massive IPs for whatever reason. And it seems like on the Microsoft side of things, we kind of see why the reason they're actually doing this. Like, for example, when they jumped on Minecraft Xbox 360 edition back in the day, and then they ended up purchasing Mojang for like $2.7 billion back then. And now they own Minecraft. You know, you see the Game Pass, you see Xbox Game Pass, you can play all the Minecraft things on there. You can still play those games like on PlayStation, but it's not necessarily pushed on their storefront like that. In this part of the industry, it's getting a little tricky because Xbox comes out with, you know, the Xbox One and then the PlayStation 4. And we all know how that went. The PS4 smashed out the Xbox One on release. The PS4 just downright had better exclusives. The PS4 is just better overall. And how Microsoft wanted to push that whole agenda of like, oh, TV. And people were just like, no, bro, this is a game console. We don't care about having our cable provider hooked up to our Xbox. If I just want to watch cable, I just switch the source from the TV from HDMI 1 to HDMI 2. Simple as that. What I kind of want to get at right here is that it seems like Microsoft is turning directly into a live service subscription service type deal here. And the reason why I say that is because basically what they've said recently in their, you know, kind of whatever you call it, the Microsoft showcase, and what they've been pushing so much, even just on all advertising and YouTube and things of that nature, but they just want to push Game Pass. And it seems like that all they care about is Game Pass, and they don't know what to do with consoles because, to be honest, they haven't smashed in the console industry since the Xbox 360. And now that they're not seeing numbers like that, they want to figure out a whole different formula and kind of panic on like, oh, what do we do? And it seems like they're relying on a subscription service, and they're going to be relying on Game Pass, which is another reason why I think that they have been buying so many IPs and so many companies so that when these games do come out, they can just develop them for Microsoft or for Xbox and just push it onto, you know, day one onto the Game Pass storefront and things of that nature. Because let's be real, I'm not going to lie, I am not buying a copy of Starfield for $70. I would rather just play it day one on Game Pass, or I'm only paying $10 or $15 a month, depending on what kind of Game Pass subscription you want. And imagine them doing that with all their newest titles, that Fallout 5, Elder Scrolls, whenever that shit comes out. You get the idea. So all their big, massive IP games, they can just push onto the Game Pass and have people play there instead of spending so much money, not only like on a physical or a digital download, but just having Game Pass in general. So that way that Microsoft is getting money from its audience through Game Pass. And you, not only do you get access to those big titles, you get access to all the other titles as well that are on there. Now, when we look back at the Xbox 360 and the PS3 era, I kind of want to make a point here. And I know I'm kind of all over the place, but just hear me out and bear with me. But if you were around for that era and you paid attention in that era of gaming, when the 360 and the PS3 came out, Xbox was doing crazy numbers and had Sony basically in a chokehold by the neck because PS3, Sony decided to switch their CPU and GPU, and they decided to switch out their hardware, which made it so difficult for game developers to develop for their console, which is why you had a lot of exclusives going over to 360, and it was just way more easier to develop a game on the 360 because devs were already familiar with the software. Now, as of right now, we have the Microsoft, you know, the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X. Now, as far as I know, the Xbox Series S is digital. It's a digital only console, and I could be wrong. Let me just make sure I'm getting that right. Yes, the Xbox Series S is a digital only console. You cannot buy physical for that console, meaning that when Microsoft puts out games on their Microsoft Store or the Xbox Store or on Game Pass, they're able to remove and add games whenever they want. So, I mean, we can get into the nitty gritty of that, basically, of how you kind of don't own anything if you go that route, but that's not really the subject of this video here. This is more so about Microsoft just not knowing what the fuck they want to do since they're not making console sales numbers anymore. And now they're claiming that nobody wants to buy a console just because there's great games in it. Great games aren't going to make people buy consoles. Bro, that's why we've been buying consoles in the first place. Do you know why I want to switch? Why would I buy a Nintendo Switch? Because I can play Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I can play Super Mario Wonder. I can play games that are exclusive to that console, and there's a great experience within that game. Now, the Xbox Series S is digital only, which is like basically where they're trying to push Game Pass. Get the Xbox Series S. You can get Game Pass and get access to hundreds and hundreds of games and new games as soon as they launch and all these other things. And then they have the Xbox Series X, which is a powerful console. In my personal opinion, that shit looks ugly, but I'm not, this isn't a video where we're bashing Microsoft. This is a video where we're just seeing a company that is confused on where to go due to their numbers just being low on console. And I feel like at the same time, they kind of just lost sight of the vision of what they really want to do when it comes to innovation and creating actual great experiences, whether that be single player or multiplayer for their consoles. Now, the Xbox Series X is an extremely powerful console, but you rarely see any marketing for that. Like, you see the marketing for it, but that's not their forefront. They keep pushing the idea of having Xbox Game Pass everywhere. That means all devices, mobile, laptop, PC, the Xbox console, TV is just like insane because they're trying to really get into this this area of where you can just stream games straight to your TV because you have Game Pass. Now, or I forget what it's called. I think it's like Game Pass streaming or Cloud X streaming, something like that. But that's kind of the direction that they're moving in. And it's just confusing because it's like, why focus on hardware when you're really more so on the software side, when you keep focusing on how powerful your console is, but you don't even push that narrative when it comes to Microsoft, when it comes to Xbox. You're really pushing this whole Game Pass thing where it's just like, you know, either you're on PC or if you're on console, get the game, play it, stream it, whatever the case is. It's really interesting to see at the same time too, because Sony isn't really doing the best right now at the moment. Like, they're doing great, don't get me wrong. They have a crazy amount of sales on the PS5. The PlayStation 5 is still more popular than the Xbox. You know, people want PlayStation over Xbox. Nobody really wants an Xbox unless they have some kind of exclusive or whatever. And as we know, they don't really have any great exclusives in my personal opinion. But it's just weird because you're seeing them like in a panic on what to do. And they're even talking about getting into AI and things like that. And it's like, why do we need to get into AI when it comes to gaming? But that's probably like a whole nother ordeal there. We see Sony kind of doing the same thing too with like buying Bungie and buying, I forgot what else they bought, but they bought a few companies too as well. And, you know, I'm not really against Microsoft pushing for just going into a service-based thing, just going more into a software-based company when it comes to the gaming industry, because it's like we've seen it happen before with other companies like Square Enix, like doing partnerships with Nintendo, so they get exclusives there. You see Sega that went from making hardware going into basically just a game developing company and just making games like Sonic and whatever other games they've made. Honestly, I haven't kept up with Sega in a long time. I haven't played Sonic in a cool minute. I haven't really played Sonic since Sonic 06, and that game was ass. But it's just interesting because it's like, I feel like they lost sight of the vision here of like what to do. Like, you guys were known for creating great experiences for the player. And now that you guys, you know, we're in this era of like between physical and digital and just having it right away and pre-downloading things and just super quick, easy access to things, you have a realm of what they're creating for. Basically, if they can put out these massive IPs and they come out and they're dog shit, nobody's really going to care because, you know, you didn't spend $60 to $70, $80 on that title. And not only did you not spend that much money on it, you're just paying $10 a month, $15 a month for Game Pass. And you have access to a whole bunch of other games as well. And this is just kind of tricky because it's like, well, if Xbox does do this and they're able to pull it off, will Sony follow suit? Will Nintendo's follow suit? And, you know, actually, I don't think Nintendo will because they've just been doing their own thing for so long and they're doing great in that department. So good job, Nintendo. But it's just weird because, like, you kind of see this copy-paste formula where, like, one company does one thing and then the next one does another. Sony does this and then Microsoft does this. And they kind of go hand in hand of, like, what they're trying to do and beat each other out. Now, I'm not really against it, you know? I'm not really against Microsoft doing that. They can go ahead and do that. But just, like, if you're going to do that, you got to think about your competition as well, bro. If you're making TVs, there's like 16 million bajillion other TV companies out there. You're going against all those people that are making TVs. Which TV has a faster processor? Which TV has better picture? Which TV has exclusive apps to it? Things of that nature. So it's like, when it comes to this, don't just be, Microsoft, if you're going to move in that direction, don't just be first party IPs and first party games. Don't just be AAA smash hit games. And this is like, I'm not bashing on those games, but we have a crazy track record recently of these massive game companies that are coming out with like big titles, and they're hot ass when they come out. So if you're going to get into that realm of things and just becoming like a live service thing, you know, kind of similar to Steam or other game launchers, bruh, just open it up to third party. We see that Sony opened up their storefront to third party developers so that when they have games that come out on, you know, on the PlayStation Store and you can buy them digitally, it's not just Call of Duty, or it's not just Infamous, or it's not just whatever big title is coming up. There's other games that you get to explore on that storefront. It's not just the biggest thing out there. Like, it's not just going to be Starfield. It's not just going to be Fallout. It's not just going to be Call of Duty. Put other games on there, and then you got to, you know, think about the competition you're already going up against. We got the Steam Deck. You got people, basically PCs in their hand, bro. Like, there's so much that comes with getting into that realm of where they seem to be focusing. It seems like they're focusing on that. They claim that they're focusing on console, but it's not really what the narrative seems to be. They want Game Pass to be everywhere. They want you to stream that shit from your phone. They want you to stream Halo Infinite from your fucking phone, which might be cool, it may not be. I'm not sure your fucking phone's gonna blow up trying to do that shit, but you guys get the idea of what I'm trying to say. It's like, if you're going to move into that era, or that, I keep saying era. If you're going to move into that area, you know, think about what you got around you, because there's so much going on out there, and they're already, you know, far ahead with that. And, you know, just open up your Game Pass and your service and things like that to other developers, and just offer a bunch of games, not just a handful of games. Offer thousands of games that people can not only just pay $10 a month or $15 a month to play Need for Speed or whatever other hot game is out. They want to play something else, and it gives them a chance to experience something else. It's not just, you know, right in your face all the time, or just the biggest IP or biggest, you know, title that's coming out. You know, they just acquired Activision and Blizzard for $60 fucking billion. That is a crazy purchase to think about, dude. $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $10 million, $100 million, $500 million, $1 billion, but over $60 billion. Y'all better make the absolute best of that purchase, because if y'all start coming out with some bullshit, man, y'all are gonna get cooked in real time. And you guys kind of are already getting cooked, but it is what it is. You know, it's okay to have a dry spell, a dry run in the gaming industry right now. Like, there's a bunch of good games out there still, but it's just kind of funny and kind of weird to see, like, Microsoft, what do you want to do? What's going on here? Because are y'all just doing this out of the fact that y'all aren't doing numbers and y'all haven't smashed since the 360 era? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. Did you like my opinion? Do you hate my opinion? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you want to see Microsoft do? Do you think they'll copy, Sony will copy Microsoft and do like a PlayStation Now thing? Or, you know, what is the case with that? So, because we know the PlayStation 5, Sony just came out with a digital console where there's no disc. And, you know, I don't know how many people really prefer digital, just having digital over physical. But, you know, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you liked the video, subscribe. If you didn't like the video, still subscribe, because I need that support. If you're a hater, don't matter. But I'll see you guys in the next video.